We are driving 2017 CT6 3.6. Look at the little green box. You can see the V4 symbol, and we have a nasty vibration going on whenever we hit 4-cylinder mode. You can feel the engine like crazy. So the engines are not balanced when they go into cylinder deactivation mode like that. So these cars use hydraulically filled motor mounts to dampen those vibrations, to keep the occupants from feeling that jackhammer of vibration when the cylinder deactivation activates. So we're going to be going through today and replacing the front motor mounts. All right, here we are. I pulled up to the shop 35 minutes ago and we already have both mounts out. This is way easier than I thought it was going to be. Sorry for not showing the whole process, but it's literally like 5 steps. I'm going to bring you through it right now. These are the tools you need. Like, this is literally it. I got my impact wrenches too, but you can use ratchets, no problem. So first thing you're going to need, you're going to need an 18 millimeter on a universal. You can use a socket and a universal joint separately. You don't need a fancy swivel socket like this. Use this with a long extension to go down through the engine bay. You don't have to take anything apart. You can just look down in through the engine bay. You can see the top nuts for the mounts. Zip those 2 nuts off. You don't need to do any engine supporting or anything because gravity is going to hold everything in place. After that, lift the car. You're going to take these 3 shields off. You can take more off to make it easier because you do have to get to the subframe bolts, which are like behind all this stuff. So you can take these off if you don't want to bend them back like this, but it's not damaging them or anything. So take those 3 shields off. For those, you need 7 mil. You need a 13 mil. There's a clip you need, a Christmas tree clip you need this for. The magnet I use to take the nuts off the top of the mounts after loosening the nuts off the mounts. And then you're also going to need a Torx bit. This is a T15, but I think it was actually T20s, but it did work. T15 or T20. It doesn't need to be a long one, just any T15, T20, and then a Phillips bit also. Phillips number 2 for the shields, and then these are all the hardware for the shields. These are the bolts holding the engine mounts to the subframe. These are the rear 4 subframe bolts, and this is a heat shield bolt. I'll show you that in a second. These are also subframe bolts. So once you got the 3 shields off, you got to support the engine. If you're on the ground, you can put your floor jack down here, or you can. I wouldn't recommend. What's it called? Those. I wouldn't recommend using those because you want this thing is to stay in its factory position. You don't want it to drop down at all. It's going to make things really hard. So yeah, put your jack under here. Don't push it up too far. Just support it right where it is. I tried pushing it up a little bit and it doesn't seem to want to go. I'm not sure what's limiting it. But you didn't need to really move up at all. If you're supporting the engine, you can lower the subframe. So you want to leave the front 2 bolts in. They're going to be up right in here. Leave them in, but bring them down like an inch. Half inch to an inch. And then both fronts, bring them down an inch. And then the other 6 bolts you want to remove completely. So you have the back ones here, and then you got one here. That's going to be behind this panel. And then you have one back here, right there. So you got 3 on each side. Take them out. And then this will kind of drop down. It's not gonna wanna go very far. It's not really heavy either. You can move it by hand. So after that comes down, you gotta take out the 4 bolts holding the mounts in. Going through here. Those are 15 millimeter. So you're gonna need a flex head ratchet for this. So I use a flex head ratchet and a short socket to get 3 of them. So this one, and then both of these 2, this one and this one. I just use a flex head and the short. This bolt is a lot harder when the mount's here because you got to kind of squeeze in between the mount and the front differential. If you're rear-wheel drive, it's a whole lot easier, but if you're all-wheel drive, it's difficult. But I use the swivel socket on the ratchet, and then these I was able to get in there and, you know, move at whatever angle I needed to get the bolt out. So once all 4 bolts out, you just got to squeeze the mounts out. They don't just fall right out. I'm going to show you where I pried. So I stuck the pry bar right here, and then you can kind of spread them apart just a little bit more. You can see the gap opening a bit, and just pry on it until it's big enough that you can squeeze it through there. But yeah, that's all you got to do. Took me 35 minutes. Never doing this job before. But yeah, it should be, you know, you should be able to have it out in 2 hours at least. If you're an occasional backyard mechanic and you have all the tools on hand. Yeah, if you guys are able to accomplish this, let me know in the comments. If you have any questions, if I missed anything, put them down below. Oh, to get this out, I did have to unbolt this heat shield, and then you can see the bolt holes right here, and the threads are here. So I did have to kind of squish this heat shield a little bit, but that'll bend right back into place. It's not a big deal. So I mean, if the dealership did it, they would be forced to take more steps. They'd probably have to take all the subframe bolts out and maybe disconnect the steering shaft, maybe disconnect some other stuff. But yeah, if you're okay with bending the heat shield, it's a whole lot easier. All right, one last thing. I'm just going to show you guys how I maneuvered the new mount in here. It is a little tight, but it goes right in. And these are OE mounts. Don't be scared by the made in China stickers. Half of this car is made in China. It was made primarily for the Chinese market. Most of the parts are manufactured in China. That's just how it is with these CT6s. There it is, GM sticker. Made in China, GM genuine parts. That's just how it is. So a wobble extension might work really well here. If you get like a 1 inch or 1.5 inch wobble extension and use it on the 15 mil short socket, that might actually work really well. I've been meaning to get some wobble extensions. I don't have any here at the shop. So I don't know if you can see it, but the whole head of the ratchet is like moving around really weird. That's how it works with this putting the swivel on the flex head. It just kind of moves weird. And these do not get tightened very tight either. I'm going to get you guys torque specs, but to break them loose, it takes very little effort. And thankfully, you know, the fact that this whole car is aluminum, you don't have to fight any rust. You can see this. Like any other car with a steel body, you know, these would be rusted in by the time the car hit 130,000 miles. But these CT6s are just awesome for rust. If you live in the north, and you like to fix stuff yourself, and you want a nice car, this is one to get for sure. The only thing to worry about is parts availability long term. Right now, GM is required to keep stock of everything because it's less than 10 years old. You know, but once we get a few years from now, we might have some difficulties finding new parts. I'm gonna get a quick spec on that. Anyway, you can see that's the process from that, putting that one in. It should be clear how to take it out.